Hello and welcome to the in-depth series of Drishti IAS. Today we are going to discuss the amendments that have been proposed to the Act that deals with multi-state cooperative societies. Alright, and it is going to be very important from the perspective of GS Mains Paper 2nd and 3rd, as well as from the perspective of the preliminary examination. Let us move ahead with the topics of discussion. Introduction, of course, why we are discussing in the cooperative society. Under that, we will discuss multi-state cooperatives as well, and the key features of the bill proposed. Why there is a need to amend the previous act, issues and criticism of the bill, as well as the way ahead. So, Multi-State Cooperative Society Bill 2022 was introduced in the Lok Sabha on 7th December 2022, and it has now been projected or proposed to be sent to, and it has already been sent to, a joint committee of the parliament to scrutinize the provisions of the bill. And opposition says that the current bill, it seeks to take away state government's rights and demand that it be sent to the standing committee. Okay, so joint committee is basically an ad hoc committee which is of course established when demand occurs. Okay. Now, what are cooperative societies? We can call this a voluntary association of individuals who have common needs as well as common economic interest. And when they join hands together, they become more powerful to self-help themselves and other section of the society. It can be called as a cooperative society. They, of course, work on the principle of self-help as well as mutual help. Some examples range from 𝐈𝐀𝐒 and Amul Dairy. These are pretty known as well as very successful. When it comes to multi-state cooperative societies, they are such societies, of course cooperative, but they can work in different states, and they are registered with the Central Corporation Register rather than the state registrar. The basic concept of multi-state cooperatives is that it wants to ease the difficulty that cooperatives had in doing operations across the country, so that they do not remain restricted to only one state. There are currently in the country over 1500 multi-state cooperatives, and they generally work on credit-based nature. They are legally independent. Moving ahead, if we have to talk about the constitution provision, then through the 97th Constitution Amendment Act of 2011, it was established that the people of India have the right to form cooperative society. And this is a fundamental right under Article 19 of the Constitution. Also, it added one DPSP, that is Directive Principle of State Policy, Promotion of Cooperative Society, and this is through Article 43B. Then it also added a new part to the Constitution, Part 9B, and it is titled as the Cooperative Societies. It deals with the Articles 243ZH to 243ZT. Alright, now let's move ahead and talk about the authority who can make laws on it. Now, 97th Constitutional Amendment says that authority lies with the Parliament to establish relevant laws with respect to multi-state cooperative society, and also when it comes to state cooperative society, it lies with the state legislature. Moving ahead, now why there is a need to amend the previous, you can say, act. The previous act is Multi-State Cooperative Societies Act of 2002. It was so many years ago, 20 years ago, 2 decades ago that this act came into being. Since then, many changes have taken place, and of course, we need to upgrade with the changes. Cooperation was a department back then, and of course, it was dealt by Ministry of Agriculture. In 2021, Ministry of Cooperation came into existence, and the minister who handles it is 𝐈𝐀𝐒 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐥𝐢. So, 𝐈𝐀𝐒 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐥 made it a point that they will bring a new national cooperative policy as well when it comes to revamping of the situation with respect to them. Now, if we have to talk about the other important needs, why there is a significance in this move? Because right now, although they are legally independent, but they generally ask for financial assistance through the government when it comes to showing themselves in the public interest. Because of poor financial health, they need to be regulated, and issues regarding compliance and trust have led the government to expand the scope of PMLA 2002 in 2018. So that is why there is a need of regulation. If we have to talk about the importance of the key provisions, let's go through them one by one. First is the election of board members. There is going to be a body that will conduct the elections for the board members, which is very different from the current situation. A cooperative election authority will be there. It will be headed by a chairperson, a vice chair, and there will be up to 3 other members. It will be appointed by the central government. These people will be appointed by the central government on the recommendation of a selection committee. And only active members will be eligible to be elected as a board member or office bearer. An active member is a member who has availed a service or provided service to the cooperative society, MSC, and who has been present in the 3 consecutive general meeting of the MSC. Alright, then comes redressal of complaints. How will it be done? The central government will appoint 1 or more cooperative ombudsmen. These ombudsmen will have territorial jurisdiction. That means they will be hearing and disposing of cases within a territory. Okay, and they will inquire into complaints which are made by the members of the multi-state cooperative society when it comes to their deposits, if they are getting equitable benefits of the society's functioning, issues which are affecting the individual rights of the member. And this complaint shall be disposed away within 3 months. So there is the time stipulation as well. A person who is not happy with the outcome of this case, of the outcome of the judgment of this particular ombudsman, it will lie with the central registrar. They can challenge it here, and this person will be appointed by the central government within a month. Alright, moving ahead, if we talk about another important provision, that is amalgamation of cooperative society. There is a provision in the bill for amalgamation, coming together, and division of multi-state cooperative society. Also, this will be achieved by passing a resolution at the General Assembly, and it needs the support of at least 2/3 of the members present and voting. And also, if we talk about amalgamation or merger, then it can be done into an existing multi-state cooperative society as well. This will also need 2/3 of the help of members present and voting. There is also funding for sick cooperatives, cooperatives that are not performing very well in the economic situation. This will be done through a fund, Cooperative Rehabilitation, Reconstruction and Development Fund. And it will help those sick industries or sick cooperatives, not industries, sick cooperatives, according to the criteria. That means, which cooperative is a sick cooperative? Which has accumulated losses equal or exceeding the total of its paid up capital, free reserve and surpluses, and also has suffered cash losses in the past 2 years. Okay, so these 2 are the criteria. This issue, there is an issue with respect to who will fund the fund that has been created under it. It will be financed by multi-state cooperatives who are in profit for the preceding 3 years. That means the sick ones will be dependent on the healthier ones. So this is one of the contentious provision we can say. Now, what is the contribution in the fund? Either 1 crore rupees or 1% of the net profit into the fund, or remember, whichever is less, not more, whichever is less. This is the provision of the bill. Then specified cooperative societies are also there. These societies are special in the sense, these are those societies where the government has any shareholding that has extended any loan, financial assistance or guarantee. Okay, but generally these are those cooperatives in which the government has a shareholding of at least 51%. Okay, but now these also have been added. The central government may give directions and supersede the board of specified multi-state cooperative society because government has an interest over here. There is also a composition of the board of directors in which there should be a maximum of 21 directors. They may co-opt 2 additional directors. These 2 additional directors have to be experts in either banking or financing or cooperative management or specialization fields related to the functioning of multi-state cooperative society. There is also a mandate to have 1 scheduled caste or scheduled tribe member and 2 women members. Alright, moving ahead to the next portion, that is increasing penalties. Penalties, a cooperative society will be penalized based upon false returns if they are not giving proper information, false information, disobeying any summons are also offences. Failure to file any return or information will also be an offence. These will extend from 2,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees, and the fine for all these offences will extend from rupees 5,000 to 1 lakh. Alright, so remember these 2 prelims fact. Then there are many issues with this. First, merger of cooperative society. If we merge the cooperative society, their territorial working may be disturbed, and a sick cooperative merging into the healthier one can also become a challenge in the long run. In the original statute, there was no mandate that was given to the parliament to allow merger. That is also one of the issue. Amendment is being said that it is against the federal structure. It is not necessary. There is no provision in the constitution for all this, and center is encroaching upon the rights of the different states. Although there is a provision that, of course, parliament can make laws with respect to MSCs, but now they are saying that this government is exploiting this provision. It is beyond the legislative competence on the same ground. Now, if we have to talk about what is the way ahead, in order to ensure that there is democratic representation in the multi-state cooperative society as well as it is transparent in nature and accountable, that is why Cooperative Election Authority has been set up. And when it will be there, of course, it should be ensured by the government that the government does not have to intervene a lot. Although government is intervening right now through financial means, but it does not intervene in the long run when proper working of the MSCs will be on track according to this particular law. So, of course, scrutiny should be done by the committee, and of course, if there is a necessity, then standing committee can also be taken into the picture, because we need a better law, we need a healthier law. All the time, if there is any chance of improving any law, of course, more and more stakeholders can be involved. So, let me take the names of those people who have answered my last question correctly, and I will attach another question in the comment segment for you to answer. Correct answer was C. Priyanka has answered it correctly. Anurag, Arun, Sanjeev, Anu Sharma, Bhavesh and Suman. Okay, I guess that is it. Saundarya and Anu, of course. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Answer the next question as well. Stay updated.